Good afternoon. I'm Nerissa Sandy with WEFM's 3 p.m. news for today, the second day of January 2024, and the first 3 p.m. news for this year. Happy New Year to one and all. In the news, St. Vincent and the Grenadines is expected to host a major summit for CELAC heads of state and their delegations next month. This is according to Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, who indicated at a prize-giving ceremony for Vincimas in 2023, hosted by the Carnival Development Corporation, the CDC, that the summit will present opportunities for local artists to earn revenue. Gonzalez said this year will be a year of major opportunities across St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
It is our intention to have the transfer from ourselves to Honduras will be the new pro tempore president. 33 heads of state and government will be here and their delegation. Could you imagine an event like that, representing 650 million people in Latin America and the Caribbean? I'm pushing sandals to be open for that time. You know the amount of cultural activities which are going to take place and the amount of money cultural artists and others are going to make during that particular period of time, and how that is going to put St. Vincent way up on top of the map.
The Prime Minister also outlined that there will be a range of cultural events between the months of March and May of 2024. He said in April of 2024, the Rotary Club will also hold a ceremony for their regional convocation in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and there will be gospel activities during the month of May.
In the month of March is National Heroes Month. With March 14th, then we have to make that bigger than ever before. So there's March. And a lot of people from the United States and from Central America come over. In April, Rotary is holding their regional convocation here. Brian Glasgow has just been elected the regional Rotarian president. They're going to bring between 500 and 700 people here at the time, around April the 20th. April, May is usually, and we have to get the people involved in gospel more than before. We do it better than we have done it and bring people from all about, but even for ourselves.
That was Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves. St. Vincent and the Grenadines is the first CARICOM country to assume the presidency of CELAC, having achieved unanimous support. St. Vincent and the Grenadines recorded a total of 55 homicides in 2023. This was confirmed by the major crime unit attached to the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force. In an official statement on its Facebook page yesterday, following a shooting incident on the 31st of December, that's New Year's Eve, the department said it is currently investigating the circumstances resulting in the death of 31-year-old Kenny Mason. The report states that the incident occurred on New Year's Eve when the deceased strolled along the Old Montrose Police, that should be public road, towards his place of residence. He was accosted by a masked assailant with a gun who shot him multiple times in his upper body and head. Peters was pronounced dead on the scene by a medical practitioner. The post-mortem is expected to be carried out. Anyone with information can assist the police with this and other investigations, and you are asked to call 999 or 911, the officer in charge of the Criminal Investigations Department, the CID, at 457-1211, extension 4837, 4856, or 4859. All information, according to the police, will be treated confidentially. Still on the local scene, persons found with illegal and or illicit firearms and ammunition will be charged and or prosecuted by the law. This as the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force and the Ministry of National Security roll out a national amnesty for holders of illegal, illicit firearms and ammunition. Head of Public Relations and Complaints Department, Superintendent of Police Junior Simmons, said in a statement on New Year's Eve that if persons do not comply, they will be penalized.
The RSVDPF urges all licensed firearm holders to adhere strictly to firearm safety and legal regulations. The misuse of firearms, particularly during celebrations, poses significant risk to public safety and legal consequences. According to Section 29 of the Firearms Act, the police to produce their license or permit. Failure to comply or refusing to allow examination of a firearm constitutes an offense, and the officer may seize the firearm or ammunition.
That was head of the Public Relations and Complaints Department, Superintendent of Police, Junior Simmons. The maximum penalty for possessing an illegal firearm and ammunition is 7 years imprisonment or a fine of $20,000, or both in the magistrate court. This penalty may be increased later this year, 2024. In the region in Jamaica, 1,393 people were murdered in 2023. This is according to the Jamaica Police Force. According to Jamaica Gleaner, the serious crime statistics revealed that murders declined by 7.8% year on year. In an update published yesterday by law enforcement officials, it was revealed that 118 fewer homicides were committed in 2023 than in 2022. The police have revised to 1,511 the number of people who were murdered in 2022. Initially, the Jamaica Police Force reported that 1,498 persons were murdered. However, checks by the Gleaner newspaper outlined that a cause of death can be upgraded to murder after relevant investigations are carried out. Rape across the divisions also recorded a 17.5% decline. Shootings across all divisions in Jamaica recorded a decline, so too reports of injuries. Still in the region, Trinidad and Tobago has recorded 2 murders for the new year. We hear more in this report from TTT Online News.
Dead is 41-year-old Adunde Telemac, known as Stems. According to police, around 7 a.m. on January 1st, residents of Upper Bellow Road, Belmont, heard explosions and observed 3 men with mass jumping a wall. Upon further investigations, the residents discovered the lifeless body of Telemac. Police were contacted and a party of officers responded. There they found Telemac laying in a track. Several gunshot wounds were also observed about the body, with several spent shells on the scene. And Tobago has recorded its first murder for 2024. Dead is Kareem Small of Patience Hill, Tobago. According to reports, 2 men were sitting on a bench near the bus shed in Patience. Investigations are continuing until when gunmen opened fire on them. The victims attempted to run, but Small collapsed and died while at the scene. Police are continuing investigations.
That report from TTT Online News. And last year in 2023, Trinidad and Tobago recorded a total of 599 murders. And finally, on the international scene, rescue efforts continue in Japan after 55 people were killed in a powerful earthquake that hit the country on New Year's Day. In a report, the BBC says homes collapsed, buildings caught fire, and roads were extensively damaged, preventing the work of rescue services. The epicenter of the 7.6 quake was the Noto Peninsula in central Japan. The Japanese government was quoted as saying by the BBC that services were locked in a race against time to rescue survivors. And in related news, 5 people aboard a Japanese Coast Guard plane have died after their aircraft collided with a passenger plane in Tokyo. The Coast Guard plane was due to deliver aid after the deadly earthquake. This brings us to the end of WEFM's 3 p.m. news for today, the 2nd of January, 2024. Our next newscast will come your way at 5:30 this evening. I'm Nerissa Sandy. Thank you for listening.